This is the 652nd Arizona Racing Commission meeting held at 1110 West Washington Street, Suite 250, Phoenix, Arizona 85007. The meeting is being held on Thursday, April 13th, 2017. Recorder's ready, just tell me. Okay. We're on the record. Go ahead, sir.
I'd like to call to order the 657th Arizona Racing Commission meeting. Madam Secretary.
Commissioner Garay, I have him on the line, but he's not in, apparently. Okay, he's present. Commissioner Heupel?
Here.
Commissioner Lawless?
Here.
Commissioner McClintock?
Here.
We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. I got an email from Camilla that there's no need for an executive session today, so we'll move right into new business. The adoption grants, Greg?
Yes, as you guys know, every year we do an adoption grant for the horses. This year, and we used to do for retired greyhounds, but as you know, that greyhound racing is no longer live here. So, applications are due March 6th. We got one application for the retired racehorse adoption grant, and that was by the Equine Encore Foundation out of Tucson, Patty Shirley. Everything is in order. The amount to be granted to them is $1,438 and a penny, and Patty will take every ounce of that penny. So our recommendation obviously is to approve this, and we'll go forward.
Any discussion?
I move we adopt the application of the Equine Encore Foundation and donate the money to them.
Second.
Would you like me to give the call?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Garay?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawless?
Yes.
Commissioner Heupel?
Yes.
Commissioner McClintock?
Yes.
The motion carries.
The next order of business is a request from American Greyhound Racing for a 3-year permit for fiscal years 17, 18, and 19. Greg?
This is American Greyhound Racing. They went and supplied us their permit on December 16th, 2016. They're able to run on their existing permit until we make a decision. Everything is in order. Shayna Lingell from the department has done the background investigative. She found no reasons why not to grant this permit. So everything is in order, and our recommendation would be approval.
This is just to approve their simulcast sites?
That's correct.
Is there any chance you guys would ever, can they run live ever again?
Live greyhound racing is illegal as of January 1st, 2017.
I move we grant their permit.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Cassidy?
Commissioner Garay?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawless?
Yes.
Commissioner Heupel?
Yes.
Commissioner McClintock?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. New business item 3 is the Santa Cruz County Fair and Rodeo Association request to amend its race dates, specifically canceling the race dates of April 29th and 30th, 2017 at Santa Cruz County Fairgrounds, Sonoyta, Arizona.
Right, this is Sonoyta. They have traditionally, I think this is their 102nd year, I think, of running live. Typically, you guys in the past have granted them 4 days, and typically they have canceled the first weekend due to funding. Last year, they were able to make an agreement with Turf Paradise to run the first 2 days there at Turf Paradise. This year, they weren't able to get that agreement, and so it necessitated the canceling of the first weekend. So everything else is in order. They will be running May 6th and 7th. I've already been down there talking to the Santa Cruz County. They are looking forward to having racing down there on Kentucky Derby Day, and they're well ahead of the game, and they expect a real good crowd down there. So we would recommend approval on that, obviously.
And I move we allow Santa Cruz County to amend their race dates.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Secretary?
Commissioner Garay?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawless?
Yes.
Commissioner Heupel?
Yes.
Commissioner McClintock?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, the next order of business are the information reports, the turf safety reports. Greg?
Scott Waterman wrote this. Scott is in New Mexico this week, so he goes to Turf Paradise at least twice a week. When Relita was running, he was a steward down there, so he couldn't get up there, and I kind of subbed as well. So normal issues, as with anything on the last month of a meet, things can get worn down a little bit. Some of the most significant issues right now are the overgrown weeds and things like that, which basically just takes a mowing. There's a little bit of confusion on who does the barn areas. Is it the trainer, or is it this Turf Paradise needs to provide that? Those areas, obviously the horses will be gone in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so I'm sure they'll be taken care of. The other significant issue would be what I would call the racing licensing office, as well as the racing secretary's office. There appears to be some damage to the roof on there. I spoke with Vince. Again, Turf Paradise has been very responsive on this stuff. Vince has indicated that over the summertime they'll be looking at that roof and doing some repairs to that. Lighting seems to be okay, but in the morning now it's getting pretty light at 5 a.m., 5:30ish. So Scott notes that some of the lights have been changed and things of that. So it's routine maintenance, typical of a meet, and but nothing other than the racing secretary's office and our office, and then the overgrown weeds that need to be taken care of. So.
Quick
Great.
question for probably Vince. Does somebody accompany him when he does his inspection? Somebody from Turf Paradise, or does he just do it on his own and then let you guys know? Or
Great minds think alike. That's great. That's great.
I just had, I'll let him go, but
Vincent Francia, General Manager, Turf Paradise, for the record. It happens both ways. Sometimes I'm with Dr. Waterman or Mr. Stiles. Sometimes they do it on their own. If I could address real quickly 2 of the matters that Mr. Stiles brought up. One, the weeds in the stable area. When the race meet is in session, the trainers are responsible for the weeds around their barn. We are responsible for the public area. And the reason why we do this is our staff doesn't know when a horse is in for a race and they come in outside the barn with the weed whackers, which disturb the horse. So this was the system that we devised in order to take care of that. Secondly, the A-door office at Turf Paradise, I examined it with the appropriate staff member, and we have come to the conclusion that during the summer we will have to do this because the water leaks inside have been caused by the Spanish tile deteriorating, so we're going to have to remove part of the roof in order to do proper repairs. But we're right on it for Mr. Stiles.
okay, great.
Thanks, Vince.
You bet.
The next item is a possible quorum of commissioners attending Derby Day at Turf Paradise on Saturday, May 6th. I know I will be there.
I intend to be there.
I'll be there.
That's it.
I'll be on a flight.
We better notice it.
I have the notes prepared, sir, and ready to be posted out there. I was just put it on the agenda so that it can be read into the record that it's been announced here as well.
Okay, great.
We won't talk about racing.
Correct.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about which horse to bet. Permitting reports not to exceed 3 minutes, American Greyhound Racing.
Yes, on behalf of American Greyhound Racing, I'd like to thank the commission for approving our 3-year permit, and also I'd like to recognize the director and the staff, especially Greg Cassidy et al. For their work in getting that done. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
County Fairs. Rito.
Jay Wells called me about a half hour ago, said he was stuck in traffic and had a plane flight also to catch, so I expected him to be here, but he said if it got too bad, he was going right to the airport. So.
Okay, we'll table that for now. Turf Paradise.
If If I may, Commissioners, in the Good News Department, the recent Wiener Dog Day that we had at Turf Paradise, which raises money for the Greyhound adoption, raised $17,000. The 7th annual Wine, Women, and Horses that we had last weekend, which raises money for the Child Crisis Center, raised $70,000. Our next charitable outreach event is on April 22nd, and that is Relay for Life for the American Cancer Society. The race meet is proceeding towards the Derby on May the 6th. It should be a good betting race, by the way, and then closing day is on May the 7th.
Thanks, Vince. Tucson Greyhound Park. Okay, the Industry Stakeholder Association updates, not to exceed 3 minutes. Arizona County Racing Association. Click me. Arizona Greyhound Association. Arizona Quarter Horse Racing Association. Arizona Thoroughbred Breeders Association. HBPA. I have to have one report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, and Director. I'm Lloyd Yota with the Arizona HBPA. Just a couple of things I have to cover with you. A couple of them is question information for myself on the Greyhound race permit. It's a 3-year permit, but doesn't there? I mean, why is it a 3-year permit? I guess, and they're simulcasting through 18. Is that correct?
Well, simulcasting at Greyhound racing is still legal.
Still legal.
Yeah, and from what I understand, simulcasting in Greyhound racing will still be legal after 2019. I think what you're referring to is possibly is the dome will be. So.
Okay. Thank you. The other thing is on the safety issues at the track. I schedule periodically, nothing on a permanent schedule, with Dr. Waterman to go around and look at issues and compile their list, and then we take it to management. And then at the end of the year, I'm looking to schedule something with Waterman to look for the issues that we need to work on over the summer months. So I do travel with him when he's available, when he's up here, and when I'm available as well. And those are just whatever we find at the track. Other than that, we have our Arizona Breed Day, the 22nd. I'd like to see you gentlemen come out to that as well, if you can, ladies, if you can. Arizona Breed Day, we're going to be hopefully running 9 Arizona Breed races on Saturday, and we've got 2 quarter horse Arizona breeds on that same day. So hopefully we'll have a 9, 10, 11 race day and a good handle and good participation. And I don't think we got anything else to cover. Thank you very much for your time. Any
Thanks,
questions?
Lloyd.
No, thanks, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Jockeys Guild. I know the answer to that. Commission reports, summary of current events affecting the Racing Commission. Greg or Rudy?
Nothing to report this time. I will be attending the ARCI annual convention in South Carolina next week. Expect to report something after that on what they're doing. So, Mr. Casillas, you have anything else?
Just one piece of information. The RWA is coming due to decrease May 1st, so that's a plus for the industry coming up. So.
Good. How about identification of matters to be placed on future agendas? Anything?
No.
Call to the public. We have 2 speakers. Steve Nolan.
Thank you, Commission and Director, Council. 3 issues I'd like to, 3 minutes, not very much time, so let's just get busy. HPBA has an election. I think the ballots are due the 17th. Reason I bring it to your attention, I'm hoping that the Director, being the regulatory, to prevent any Russian hacking. I'm hoping that there's somebody from the state that will monitor the election ballots and that. Just enough said. There's an election in order to prevent, so we don't have an appearance of an impropriety. I'm hoping that the state will at least take an active role to help monitor its fairness. Secondly, the permittee reports. I live right in the neighborhood. I went to a city council hearing because of an issue. What I'll do is just give everybody a hand. At this hearing, there were 3 items that they wished to go forward with and it's okay. 2 of the 3 were recommended, 1 wasn't, and 1 for Mr. Rory. What I'm talking about is the week after horse racing, they have a motorcycle event there. Last year, permittee failed to get the required zoning permit for it. Police were called. They said, don't do it again. They've been denied the permit so far. Their next hearing on the second page is May 4th. When I called the AMA yesterday, they are going forward with this, with or without the permit, which is a disregard of any regulatory authority. Now, that's come up in the past concerning the disregard of the regulatory authority by the permit. I'm not going to read this. It was best described once prior, so I'll hand it out. I don't want to be disrespectful and read it out loud, but as you will see, it has come up in the past. So it needs to be noted, once again, the disregard of the regulatory authority. They don't care. They don't listen to directors' rulings. They don't listen to city ordinances. So anyhow, let's move on. So I've talked about the HPBA election. We've talked about a motorcycle race. And that leads me to the last. We need to start to identify conduct that are directly having a negative effect on the industry. And with that, I have one more handout for you. As I pulled up the minute entries in a 7-year lawsuit pending, so that this is the April 3rd minute entries from the judge. It's pretty much a summary of a 7-year case and its negative impact it's having on our industry of the state. And we need to identify these, put them on future agendas every month on how that is having such a negative effect on the Arizona horse races. Any questions concerning that? This litigation is destroying our industry. So time's up, 3 minutes. I said 3 things. Please try to put them on the agenda, next month's agenda, identifying these negative impacts.
Okay, we're done.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Next, we have the infamous Tom Author.
I'll check one.
How are you, Tom?
Good. Tom? I know, well, you
Say your name.
I'm Tom Author, and we are the new under contract entity for the Yavapai Downs. And I say on the contract, emphasize that we have not closed. We want to close. We may not close. We're just at the due diligence period right now. We're not horse people. We're real estate guys, but we have identified a couple very strong operators. You guys would, once they can kind of come out publicly, I think you'll be very, very pleased with who they are. And we just cleared bankruptcy court 10 days ago, so we're just getting underway. I made some notes. Actually, some notes were made for me. But we understand and respect the importance of the horse racing in the state, and we're going to do our very best to run a good outfit. As far as year-round racing, with our limited knowledge, that seems very important, and we want to contribute to that and make sure that comes about. And really, other than that, we just plan to have first-class live racing and simulcasting. And once we can determine what it's going to take to bring that facility up to where we want it to be a nice boutique racing course, then we'll make the next step and try and deal with some of the other racing issues. But first thing we need to do is, and we've been through the property 4 or 5 times, we're developing some numbers on whether or not that's financially feasible. Our group is myself, I've got my brother Dave, my brother Mike, and Joe Jackson, who's a fourth partner of our company. We're all Phoenix natives, easy to find. My family's been in the real estate business here since 1952. There's 8 of us. Joe's also native. He comes from a large family also. So we're easily identified, I think. I don't think anybody's going to have trouble finding us.
Quick question, Tom. What is your timing?
We
Due
have,
diligence is
We have
approximately
till
how?
July 7th,
July 7th, and
To-
the
to-
close would be after?
30 days after that.
30 after.
And in that time frame, we want to determine, the roof's in bad shape, we've had I'm told is the world's greatest track company has been on the track, and we'll be back in 2 weeks to look at it again to give us a number on that.
So nothing would be open this summer? It would
No,
probably be
no.
geared towards the following?
And then, Greg would actually know this better than I, but if we close, then we apply for the license, and that could be 6 months or so. So that might even jeopardize, I hope not, but next year, depending on what happens. And there's an issue too, with the chicken and the egg, closing without the license. So, but the USDA has been great to work with. It was a 30-month process. It's not like you run down to the local seller and you negotiate a deal and get out of there. It was a long through various USDA employees, but they were fine. They were good to work with, and they care about the place, and we care about it too. As I said, it's not a philanthropic venture, but we care about the state. We care about the lifestyle here, and we hope to be real good stewards of this horse racing, and particularly this course. And I brought some cards. If anybody wants to call us, tell us we're stupid. Although that's probably a pretty long queue. And if I could just leave them here if anybody wants a card.
Great.
And Mike and Dave and Joe are also available. Same phone numbers. We look forward to working with you guys. We're optimistic we make this thing work, and I think hopefully it'll be good for everybody.
Well, thanks, Tom. I hope you'll come back from time to time to keep us abreast of what's going on.
I'll come every. I might even be able to give you an update off premises at various places too, if that's important. And we probably know where that would be. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Can I comment? I didn't sign up, but may I comment?
Absolutely.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, Director, I'd like to, I'm Lloyd Joseph with the HVPA. I find it very offensive that Mr. Nolan and his people do any and everything they can to deter racing in the state of Arizona, and to accuse my office that's been at Turf Paradise forever, as far as I know, Horseman's Group, and we run things above the board. If they're have not been run above the board, they are today. And I find it very offensive that he thinks that there's some rigging of the election. We have a procedure. Some of his people have come in to ask the procedures. They had no idea what goes on. They think we just sit back there and elect somebody that we want, meaning the president, the executive director, and the secretary. That's not the case. It's a process that all elections go through, and I really find it offensive. I just want that for the record. I find it very, very offensive of his group trying to put horse racing out of business in this state, and he says that he's all for racing and wants to see it grow. Baloney. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Lloyd. The next regular Arizona Racing Commission meeting is scheduled on Thursday, May 11, 10 o'clock in this room. Subject to change based on a quorum, but as of now, it's Thursday, May 11th. With that, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
10:24.
I didn't beat the record.
What was it?
Beat the record.
What was it?
Beat the record. Beat the record.